do one of you reflect your father's side and the other the mother, or your mother's side, or?
I don't know. I think we're probably a mix of their humor. I think their senses of humor are fairly similar. I would say Vlad is in writing kind of like goofier than me. Like I'm pretty goofy, but Vlad has any really really bizarre jokes and break a leg. We're probably Vlad.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true.
How did you guys get along as brothers when you were growing up? I mean, there's a 5-year difference, but were you close?
He was the worst.
Bully?
And I still.
No, he was a great older brother. He's people tell stories about their siblings being terrible and always fighting with them. He took me with all his friends to hang out all the time. We always hung out together and played and stuff. So we were really close, I think.
Okay. Are you a lot alike, do you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely have our differences, but I think we're pretty similar.
I would say when I don't realize how similar we are until we talk, and I realize we come to the same conclusions about things a lot, and just little things. I think we're like, I didn't even tell you this a lot. Recently, I looked at our words with friends, like total amount for the week. You know how they do that in words with friends, and you and I have the exact same points. Just like little things, like we'll have weird similarities and things like that. So I'd say we're pretty similar.
Who's funnier?
I mean,
The
me,
provocative
question. When you guys were kids, because you're writers and creators, did you read a lot when you were kids?
Yeah, definitely.
What did you like to read?
I think for me, it was a lot of sci-fi. When I was really little, I read a lot of like mystery also. So I think I definitely like a lot of that in our writing. I think we do a lot of that. But yeah, science fiction, mystery. I read a lot of the sort of classics when I was a kid and haven't really as a grown-up, I'm sad to say. Just like older stuff like Jules Verne and stuff like that. But
is that what led you to an interest in writing?
Yeah, it was I was interested in writing pretty much as far as I can remember. I remember I was like 5 or 6, probably was like more like 6, and Yuri was like 1, and I used to write little stories and read them to him. So yeah, I think I always was very, very interested in it. Our mom was I think she did the same with us. She wrote stories and read them to us. So I think we kind of started doing that just by imitation.
So did you
I remember. I was the same way in that I copied him. I remember the stories still, and I remember him reading them, and I remember him writing all the time. So I mean, I read constantly as well. I remember our family always teasing us because we'd always at family gatherings be in the corner reading our books. But yeah, I would read I read a lot of classics slightly when I was older. Like I love The Three Musketeers and Count of Monte Cristo and Sherlock Holmes and all those kind of books. I kind of read, what Vlad was done reading, I think. But yeah, I would say we have. I mean, I read a lot and.
When did each of you realize that you were writers, or that's what you wanted to do or wanted to be?
Well, for me, I would always try to imitate Vlad writing. I was pretty bad at it, fiction-wise. Like I was never very good, and I was always more interested. I got into drawing really early on, so I drew all the time, and then I got into acting in 7th grade, and so writing wasn't a thing that I kind of considered doing at all. And then in college, actually, I think senior year of high school, I started just dabbling with sketch writing with my friend. We watched a bunch of Monty Python, and we're like, let's write some sketches. So I wrote a few, and then in college, I ended up. What is beeping in my computer? I started writing some sketches, and then in college there was like a theater production class, and they said, does anyone have anything that they've written to put up? And I said, I have a few sketches. So we put together a night of sketches, and people really liked it, and I really kind of enjoyed writing them. And so I started sort of consuming every kind of script that I could get my hands on. At first it was mostly plays, so Neil Simon was a huge influence, and David Ives, and anyone who wrote very quick timing-wise. Like I love that. And so I started doing the more script writing thing, and that's kind of when I realized that I was really into it. Near the end of the first semester or second semester of college, I wrote a Shakespeare satire, a one-act play. And the following year, everyone loved it when I put it up, and it was so surprising. And then it got published the following year, and I was like, I think I like this. I think I'm pretty good at it. And then later, Vlad and I started writing together.